is coming at a premium, especially because Maokai is also so good. So honestly, kind of expect TSM to lock in jungle in the first 1, 2, 3 here, and maybe lock AD carry as well. Support going to counterpick has become a lot more prevalent, so that's getting dropped from first set of picks a lot more often. So I feel like that's a pretty easy path for them to go. Meanwhile, Golden Guardians, they instantly go for the Ashe for Stixxay, which initially I'm a little bit sad about because Stixxay has been carrying so well, but of course the Aphelios is banned out, and so maybe they feel like it's really just been the Aphelios magic, and without that, they'd rather have the utility of the hawk shot of the Ashe Arrow engage.
I like Poppy a lot into Tristana because the same thing that lets Tristana get away with so much BS with her rocket jump, where she just seems to buffer through everything, makes it so easy for Poppy to stop her from rocket jumping away with Steadfast Presence. You can see her start the casting animation and interrupt it on command, like reactively. You don't even have to predict when she's going to do it. So I'm a big fan of this. As a player that doesn't have very good mechanics, low barriers of execution appeal to me. So looks like TSM are deciding, hey, well, we're going to give ourselves a very powerful front line here to go along with this Cannon and Tristana. We got the Maokai blocked in. Are we also going to take this guy for the top side? No, of course not, because Renekton's up.
Yeah,
I'm tired of Renekton.
There's some pretty easy pairings to pick, and the Maokai is another one of those. So no surprise there from TSM. They don't actually, though, lock in their AD carry here, so they've decided to keep the Tristana allure of the flex alive, although the chances of it going bottom are significantly less. I will say WildTurtle has some of LCS's all-time highlights on Tristana. Just ask Steaky about the crits at the hands of Turtle, and you can get into some deep history there. Gori, though, pulls out the Sylas into the Maokai. You're looking for a couple things for good Sylas angles. Alistar, Maokais are at the very top for amazing ults to steal. So no hesitation from him, even into that Tristana.
Yep, I love seeing them lock that in before their opponents have a chance to ban it out to keep that stolen Maokai ulti away from them. Kai'Sa banned out by Golden Guardians. Melio banned out by TSM. If you have Maokai and you want to lock down the whole enemy team, the last thing you want is this dude just giving everybody an instant get out of jail free card in the AoE and negating the whole thing.
Especially if your Maokai just gave their Sylas Maokai ult, and then they have Melio ult to nullify your Maokai ult.
That feels bad.
That's very much feels bad. So good job. Yeah, I definitely agree banning that one out. It's also a really good pairing with Ashe. The Ashe Melio is one of the best duos for Ashe, so targeting Stixxay there, trying to keep him down. He's definitely been one of the best performers. Golden Guardians with the Karma ban as well, and we've seen a slight increase in attempted like double poke bottom lanes.
Yeah.
So maybe thinking something like an Ezreal Karma lane was going to come through with the Tristana staying in mid in Insanity's hands, and the Rel also taken out for the extra engage here.
All right, get the pasta ready. Ksante's locked in for Golden Guardian.
4,700 HP?
Only 15 mana on the queue. Oh, and I'm not going to be surprised at all if this gets locked in. Turtle has had plenty of pop-off moments on this champion. I think it's become pretty iconic for him, like lifetime as well as here in this split. So that one gets locked in for TSM on the Jinx. And then, hey, if they have some powerful engage tools, I love a Braum to be able to disengage. He's great for blocking the enchanted crystal arrows from long range. He can stop the stolen Maokai ultis, just tank up, have everybody else fall in behind him. I'm liking the picks here.
Yeah, Braum is especially good with multiple melee champions for your opponents. Really, really difficult to get over that large AoE. Can apply passive to multiple people. So brings the whole team fight together there for TSM. TSM with the double AD carries, super beefy front line here.
Whoa.
Hey, we get the sack! We're getting... I actually love the trend in the LCS over the last couple of weeks where we're getting so many more fringe champion picks, and now we actually get to talk about a couple of things that you normally don't get to. You know, you have to gloss over. But Zach is actually really strong right now. If you can protect the level 1, your first clear is always a little bit sketchy on the Zac. You are prone to invades. And especially since TSM have a Braum, I actually expect TSM to formulate a level 1 invade plan now against the Zac to start this game out. Get in there and start targeting immediately once you see that late pick. But
man, that's support Zach.
I got so happy with it. It's support Zach. Way less cool for me, but probably for the Sunfire, like the jungle Zach does.
And even Shroud and Abyssal are both cheap as hell.
Yeah,
really
that's
easy
the
to buy
best part. That's why I love them for junglers as well.
All right, let's do it.
Don't tell Riot that you're not a support.
Okay, yeah. Don't listen to this part, Riot. All y'all that are watching, just turn it off for a couple minutes.
All right.
Okay, so this is our last game of the day, our last game of this week, number 4. And if the Golden Guardians get a win here, they will tie that all-time record that they've had mini splits before of 9 wins.
It's a big one. But to tie it is not enough.
They gotta break it.
We really want to break that because the curse for the entire duration of the existence of the organization
Since 2018.
Golden Guardians, never getting more than 9 wins. First step, though, is to get their flowers, of course. You're right. Started out now. Off the back of a support Zach would be a big way to do it.
There's a lot of engage here on the side of Golden Guardians. Gori can steal away that Maokai ulti like we were talking about. You've got Stixxay's arrow. You've got Huhi flying over the top of everybody. River can find one of those wall angles. And then, you know, Ksante just files in and starts causing a ruckus. I like what these guys can do.
That's a good description of Ksante.
He just shows up. He's like, all right, I got the Intofos. Where are we going? I like this comp. I hope the Golden Guardians can make it really work out super well here. I think that this is a team that sort of surprised everybody this year with how well they've been doing, and I love seeing the innovation being the icing on that cake. He steps up with the stretching strikes, just bangs their heads together, and Stixxay is free firing on WildTurtle. Exhaust comes out from TSM. It's traded for the cleanse there on Stixxay's AShe. So 2 summoner spells spent by TSM, the cleanse as well in the Jinx.
And biggest part, Flowers, is the jungle. You've got a Poppy who went Raptors down to steal red here for River. I would like this aggressive look for him. He goes his own Raptors down to red so he can be around this spicy bottom lane, with Huhi landing the first Q there on Chime and WildTurtle, getting a knock together, getting the summoner spell trade. Looks like this wave is going to crash a little bit early, and he's just going to steal away the red for now. But Hawkshot goes up as well and finds Maokai. They know 100% the Maokai's top side. This is a 3v2.
Okay, River walks over a ward, so TSM's bottom lane is aware of the potential dive here. Golden Guardians still got to do a little bit more work, though, to shove the wave up. River does not get the connect on the wall stun there on WildTurtle, and that means he's the one who has to flash away.
It's okay, though, because Poppies will 95% of the time run Hex Flash. River is doing that in this game, so defensive flash there from him. He can still use it later on for offensive Hex Flash setups, but now they're getting Bugi ganked to come check. They scope him out, no problem there, and they'll just return back to their own side now.
Hex Flash is one of those runes that it feels really, really good on some champions, and on other ones it's pants on head useless. But Poppy's one of the ones that is just
pants could be a cool hat, okay?
I mean,
there's some use there, come on. Where's your fashion sense, Flowers?
Poppy loves this thing, man. I love Hex Flash on Poppy. I think it opens up so many cool angles for plays, and hopefully River can make some use of that. You know, over the chicken wall is one of my favorites.
Over the back of the Dragon Pit is another really good angle that you can do with it, and that would allow them to try and keep up some pressure on that bottom side, keep playing off of this Zach jungle that we want to see be the star of the show. And so far, Stixxay being able to push them in, but it's a mid gank and he's toast.
Bugi with the flash for the lockdown, man. TSM get the first blood, and they get the money on Insanity.
Yeah, fancy little moves for this Poppy. Oh, going Raptors invid. Haha, diving our bottom lane. But good old-fashioned flash W point and click from Maokai. Undodgeable unless you flash really early to get out of the range there. So really good collapse, and getting a first kill onto a Tristana versus a Sylas matchup is so painful. Already Tristana just beats on Sylas. Really hard for Sylas to keep up the HP to be able to CS with, and since some of those die on tower during the exchange there, he's going to be hurting a little bit even more. Insanity will be able to just get his full recall off and walk back. So Insanity keeps his teleport, whereas Gori, of course, using his to get back out. Maokai's going to look for a mid while River looks bottom.
River with the Hex Flash over the wall to avoid the ward and also guarantee that he gets there in time as the wave crashes. Nicely played here from the Golden Guardians, but now Huhi's blobs are gonna die thanks to the reinforcement of TSM's mid laner. Insanity wanted to keep this one going a little bit further. Nice sidestep there to get away from the E2 on the Sylas. River just barely misses out on the maximum range for the stun into the wall. And Golden Guardians have to walk it away. They will not get a return kill back on the Trist.
Yeah, that was so close to being another one. Inches away from that wall. Forces the flash here. Insanity saw it coming as soon as Gori dashed to the side there. Was going to come out, but we did see the difference in the teleports there. Insanity gets down, plus 800 gold. The lead stays for TSM, and they rotate WildTurtle up towards mid lane because they kept Insanity down there, trying to push off that extra one. Should be able to shove it back out and rotate right back down, no problem. But here goes Ksante.
All right, Licorice is all out. Hauntzer gonna get juggled back there with a third in Tofo strike, but Hauntzer might be able to turn this one around. Never mind, here comes River, and it's Huhi who gets the kill.
I love it. He picks the Zac support, and Flowers, he's making plays from minute 1 in this game. Zac all over the place. Roam timer, first one for Huhi, immediately to the top side to get that kill for the squad.
And he's also playing Bubblegum Zac. So you just know you're trying to lane, you're trying to have a good time, and this big old ugly piece of bubblegum just shows up, splatters all over the lane, and steals the kill. That's a tilter. That's important, I think.
It really is. Otherwise known as the Majin Buu skin. If you watch any Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, you're talking my language. I usually miss the anime reference.
I saw your face immediately contort, and you're like,
I had to think. I had to engage parts of my brain that don't normally get used as Gori runs back away from Insanity, who wanted to rocket jump forward there, get some more value out of that explosive charge, but it's not going to happen here this time around. TSM still up a little bit of gold, but honestly, it's not a whole lot. Game can still go either way, as it's been pretty even here for the first 7 minutes. Remember, the previous game, Team Liquid was up almost 2,000 gold at this same timer on the clock.
I love the action so far, the pace of this game. And now turning back towards this bottom side river here. Maokai moving through with the control ward, dropping an extra sapling here. Just trying to create some more space, some more vision for Insanity to push Gori in. If you can keep this Tristana farming plates, trying to force Gori to miss CS.
Well, Gori, luckily for Insanity, is out of mana now, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot more chasing, but he does have the Buster Shot stolen away.
And it should be able to well, never mind, he's going to go for it again. He does have stolen Tristana ult, so you have a little bit of extra burst there towards the end, but not able to find the engage this time around. And now the squad is going to go clear out the extra wards that were just placed and free up that lane again.
Exactly. Back in the bottom lane. It's still a slight CS lead for Stixxay on the Ashe. Huhi doing a lot of roaming around, so it's not like Stixxay can push a lot of advantages without his support being nearby. River will just pass through mid here. Shadow Gori a little bit.
Yeah. And the reason we keep calling out this section of the river, it's so important because you have these supports that can get off really powerful ganks. Zac's support coming from bottom lane still can be really annoying for the mid lane matchup, and you want Gori, or you want Insanity to be able to play as aggressively as possible, so they're trying to keep it clear. And on the side of Golden Guardians, you want Gori to be able to go for these Sylas trades and keep threatening. And we're going to see just that right now.
Huhi standing on top of a control ward, so he knows his opponents cannot see him in the fog right now. River coming around from the side as Huhi jumps into the mid lane, and now problems for the Golden Guardians. Licorice is found out by Bugi and Hauntzer. River's trying to disengage it with a Keeper's Verdict, but Insanity's already killed off Licorice. Nice pickup there for TSM.
Actually, beautiful stuff there from TSM, keeping Licorice at arm's length, so he can't ult anybody through the wall, so he has no escape. Maokai ult just roots him up. He's pinned there. They kill him from range, burst him down, and should be able to get the objective off of it. 2v1 at the beginning, did a lot of work. Licorice was trying to get early position on Herald, but TSM all over it. And it's starting out with another strong game for this squad. TSM with Insanity back in the driver's seat in mid lane, looking a lot better. 3 kills for him on that Tristana. All according to the game plan, Flowers.
He was playing the Graves mid, he's playing Tristana mid. The guy is comfortable on these marksman mid laners, and TSM are reaping the rewards from that one. Even has a nice little tidy CS lead for himself. No early Drake take from either side this time around. Early Cloud doesn't have that same sort of attractiveness as the Ocean or the Hex might.
In fact, a lot of times it even dissuades me from going for early dragons. Gori is just getting shot in the back.
Yeah, he took a whole bunch of bullets to the head on that one. Sanity forces him right back out of lane.
But yeah, not only does the Cloud Dragon, you know, the buff isn't that great, but also it does the most DPS because dragons do percentage health damage and has the highest attack speed of dragons. So for a lot of junglers, it's really annoying, especially for tanks to be able to take. So
right.
It does get left off. Never mind.
Ooh, River. Looking to stop Insanity here. A second plate does go over to the TSM mid laner. Insanity is trying to get away from this one. He has to flash, though, with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow would have sealed his fate. He couldn't rocket jump because, again, River can reactively stop it with the Steadfast Presence. So Insanity was waiting until the last possible moment trying to save the flash, but that arrow forces the Summoner's Spell.
Whee! Fun Zac play here. Now taking over Extra Vision, though. They take the Raptors. They definitely have full wards around Dragon to set up for the 1v1. Licorice!
Licorice trying to duel Hauntzer down here, but it don't work out. Hauntzer takes him out.
He danced on his head!
A couple of emotes. Hauntzer styling on him.
He just danced directly on top of Licorice's head. We'll see about that one. Renekton, turret plate on top side as well. He's pushing in for another one. Take a look at it. Okay, so Licorice with the ult under tower wanted to chase him down, but Hauntzer simply too much damage here with the Renekton ultimate, and Q3 does hit him closer to the turret again, but Licorice is toast.
Adios, buddy. Easy. And then, yep, just spamming those emotes. I love it.
Kicked a little dirt on him.
We're getting a lot of personality this week in the LCS. I'm always a fan of seeing more of that. I want to see more trash talk. I want to see more emotes, more spam. I wish we could enable the alt chat, but I know sometimes things get a little spicy in the alt. Herald summon up in the mid lane, keeping things spicy there. Some more money for Insanity. Man, TSM's up 2,000 gold now, just shy of 12 minutes. Awesome early game from this squad.
Insanity, definitely a rich mid laner here for TSM, but Gori does have the stolen Maokai ult. See if the teammates make the difference here.
I like this Firefighter Tristana pick from Insanity because that was the original. You remember how that was the original legendary skin? These days they put all the fancy particle effects and new animations, voices, all sorts of stuff on them. And back then it's like, hey, this Tristana has a hat. All the other ones don't.
And it's kind of like the little splash of water comes out of the gun too.
Yeah, you know, it's like a piece out of time. But Insanity is having a time of his life here in this mid lane. Awesome, awesome early game from him so far. As River's going to start up the Drake finally. 12.5 minutes into the game. Plates have almost fallen, and finally we're going to see some attention on this neutral objective in the south side of Summoner's Rift. As TSM send Bugi and Chime and Insanity over to see what's going on. But Huhi's over the wall. Enchanted Crystal Arrow leads the way, and now the Nature's Grasp is ready to follow it up. Bugi in some trouble here as Huhi's trying to bounce all over these guys. Chime with the retreat back over the wall as Insanity wants to re-engage, but Huhi with a good drop, dropping the aggro here with a stopwatch. Hauntzer's in the middle of 5, but that's not where he wants to be. Goodbye, Crocodile. Golden Guardians get 2.
Where are you going, Insanity? He rocket jumps right into the enemy team there. Point blank, Golden Guardians sit him down. And my boy Zachary with a nice little engage over the top here.
Zachary.
Who he's on a ward, so they see him coming, but Ashe Arrow into Zach plus Maokai ultimate is a great start out, so they get a pretty big lead. The initial disengage there, but what comes is the re-engage. So I think it's off this teleport. He's counting on Hauntzer to be the other part of the pincer, but he goes a little early. Like, Hauntzer's not even there yet. Hauntzer's teleport still had another like second on completion. And so since the Renekton can't flash in at the same time that the Tristana rocket jumps in, TSM got a little antsy, and Insanity went a little bit too early on their re-engage, so Golden Guardians very happy to try and get some kills back for themselves, because they needed it, honestly. And TSM, they're still nursing a nice 1,900 gold lead for themselves, but Golden Guardians happy to get a little something.
Plus, remember, when Tristana jumps in with the rocket jump, the thing that resets it is setting off the explosive charge. The charge was strapped to Huhi. Huhi went into stopwatch. You're not getting any more stacks. You're not getting any more charges on that explosive. You're not getting back out. And Tristana just ends up sealing her own fate there. It was nicely played from the Golden Guardians.
Yeah, Huhi doing a lot of work so far on this Zac. Let's see if it's enough for Golden Guardians to actually mount the comeback, though. They got step number 1. They got the bounty off the Tristana, and they're getting step number 2 done now.
All right, first Drake. 15 minutes into the game, finally about to go over the Golden Guardians there. Super Mega Death Rocket takes it low, but not low enough to steal it away. Secured by River and the Golden Guardians.
I gotta say, those things really make you sweat. The rockets, before your smite has evolved fully to the 1200, it's really annoying to deal with there. Doesn't get this one though. Turtle still at the top of the gold charts though.
Do you remember when they were bugged and they could hit neutral objectives for like 2,000 damage? And they would just steal stuff from you all the time anyway.
Yeah, and everybody blames you anyways.
I hated those things. Those were the worst rockets of all time. Unless you were a Jinx player, then you probably loved them. But Hauntzer's going to go ahead and finish off this top lane tier 1 turret. That'll be a 2-0 turret lead for the side of TSM. While Golden Guardians trying to make a play here in the mid lane, but WildTurtle is having none of it. Ready to turn some of that damage around, and Huhi just gives him a free kill. Avert your eyes, Zach players. That one was not good.
This is exactly what TSM want, though. So much money into WildTurtle. He has been so consistent for this team. Really strong carry for them for team fights. And we'll see what he can do with that money on next back. He's going all the way up to secondary turret right now.
Did River just flash a FlyQuest emblem?
I was looking at the mini-map. So I'm going to default to trust and say, hell yeah, he did.
Okay, hell yeah, brother. All right, TSM are going to pick up a Riptail here for themselves now. Continuing to try to build that lead, build that momentum, build towards this mid-game snowball that they just want to completely wash Golden Guardians away from the Rift on. You can see first items being completed for just about everybody now. 3 Kraken Slayers on the map, both 80 carries as well as that mid laner there for TSM in Insanity. Gore Drinker done for the Renekton now for a little bit of that extra tankiness. Honestly, the only 2 without the fully completed item are Bugi and Chime, and I would have to think that Bugi's got to be close.
Yeah, and Turtle's closing in on 2 here. And they just rotate the Jinx with no flash into mid lane. You want to keep WildTurtle as safe as possible. There are so many forms of engage from Golden Guardians that can come from off screen. Your Ashe arrow into your Zac combination. So you see good play here from Turtle. Just hovers on tower, stay mid. As long as you're right underneath it, you shouldn't be the victim of a dive and continue farming up.
And yeah, Bugi completes the Demonic Embrace right after I mention it, and even slightly before he gets that first item, Hauntzer's now got 2 fully completed ones. The Gore Drinker plus the Black Cleaver, the Renekton plus 43 CS over Ksante. Hauntzer's been having an awesome game here so far up against Licorice.
Yep, you got the kill, got the solo kill, got the dance on him, got a bunch of turret money. Now we're gonna see the remnants of this turret go down though.
Okay, River starting it off with the Keeper's Verdict to make sure they got a massive numbers advantage, and Turtle is already dead. Nicely played from the Guardians to take out the enemy carry and the mid lane turret.
So, about that plan to just play safe.
Yeah.
Rough to do against the Golden Guardians with this much engage. Turtle had the cleanse, but that is not enough. Golden Guardians make the dive good. They get the turret as well. They chop that gold lead back down a little bit.
I looked at the cleanse. I did not see any moves because WildTurtle could not get away from that one. No, sir. Easy pickup there for Golden Guardians, and they're making this game interesting. I was getting a little bit worried when TSM were getting up to 3,000 gold that we were going to have another stomp, but we are seeing some blows back and forth from both sides.
Yeah, I think the critical kill to get the bounty off Tristana in that mid-game fight, where you're talking about the stopwatch from Huhi and
Insanity.
Trailing Braum, though.
Jumped on by Gori, who fires off the Buster Shot and then flashes away from Winter's Bite to guarantee that TSM can't chase him down. I like Gori going for that because if Chime isn't there, he 100% gets that kill.
Yeah, definitely bullies him back. And the minions stop the recall. This might open up another timing here. I believe they saw.
Meanwhile, Huhi going after Bugi. Stretching strikes, but nothing to stretching strike him into. All right, everybody retreats now. Gori's like, nah, I don't want any more of this. Reinforcements are coming. TSM could collapse. There's no point in giving away a free kill. It's less than 60 seconds until the Drake spawns. Only the second one of the game. 19, almost 20 minutes in because that first one was delayed so far. So do not be expecting any sort of soul win conditions in this one anytime soon.
And there's a lot of open area to look for picks right now. You've got the long range Ashe, Zac combination. Maokai has to be a little bit wary of Sylas positioning right now. Don't want to give him the Maokai ultimate too early. So actually running straight down mid lane. Gori's looking for it. Can he yoink it?
Whoa. Where's it at, buddy? Oh. Nope. The Herald just finds its way into the tier 2 turret. Not going to get a kill though, and TSM retreat a little bit further backwards. They want to make sure they have control over this bot side river as the Drake spawns here in 3, 2, 1. Objective is up. River looking to see if there's an angle here off to the side as Insanity will try to clear out the waves. Licorice will be the one leading the charge for Golden Guardians. TSM making sure they got to protect this mid laner. Insanity cannot be the first one to die here as River finds a wall slam and then immediately retreats with a steadfast presence. Gori's got the Maokai ulti now.
Phase rush is so funny. Go in for a little charge, just playing. Runs right back out. Golden Guardians leash the dragon. Huhi up here. There's no vision from TSM, so the Zac will be out of vision. They try and sniff out the possible flank. They don't contest the dragon, though. They give it up to Golden Guardians. The position was too good. There are too many angles there for the engage for Golden Guardians. TSM don't want to give it to him.
I love that call from TSM. It's only second Drake of the game. It's only a Chemtech Drake at that. They're fine giving it away. It's not worth the risk for that little bit of reward. But Golden Guardians will secure themselves that second Drake. It's an Infernal Rift. So things could get pretty interesting here. It's a little unlucky on Infernal Rift to have Infernal Rift spawn when you're playing Zac, because normally you love being able to abuse the fact that you can ignore terrain, and now there's just less of the terrain. Also for Poppy, not the greatest. Now you can't bang him.
Got an ability to knock people into walls, and there's less walls.
Yeah, it's a little bit troll here for a couple of the Golden Guardians players, but hey, what can you do? That's RNG. Okay, never mind. We're not going to get anything there. Just a little bit of jockeying for position, seeing who can control the brushes. Licorice versus Hauntzer here in the bot lane. Again, the farm just continues growing in favor of Hauntzer even after the laning phase has ended. These guys are still just stuck dealing with one another in the side lane, and it's Hauntzer who remains in control.
Been doing a good job there, pushing in as well, so he should have first move. They both have teleports for the top laners, which are currently bottom lane, but he's getting the first recall off with the extra wave, and the rest of TSM just trying to control their own jungle here as Chime clears out an extra ward, and they do secure blue, no problem.
And I don't expect Golden Guardians to try to force anything right there because of the fact that Gori's stolen Maokai ulti was about to time out. He had to just cast it up in the top lane like you saw. And since they don't have the Maokai ulti available to use, they know that that's an advantage they would much rather have if they're going to force a fight into TSM territory. So for now, Golden Guardians has to back up, and TSM will try to clear out some more of that vision here. Sweepers and control wards abound, but there is still river control for the Golden Guardians overall.
See if they can actually make a hard push towards it. Because right now, Hauntzer just went straight back down towards bottom side. He's back to pushing. Again, he's one wave earlier than Licorice. So TSM are pretty happy to get the early move. Oh, -1. Not so happy anymore, are ya?
Nope. Sorry, Mr. Crocodile.
Man, the observer is not letting him get away with that one. Usually they're real nice. They're like, can't a minion, yeah, just tab away to somebody else. Whew. The shame cam on
Feel
that
the
one.
consequences of that one. He might be up +60, but it's really only like +57 now because the cannon's worth so much.
Brutal. Savage. Wrecked. All right. Back to the age-old fight over positioning on Baron. Saplings give you the small advantage, but Bugi doesn't have the same backup, so see if Gori can actually get another burst angle. You saw how much damage he's able to put into Insanity before.
Yeah.
And he does have his Zhonya's completed, so he definitely wants to look for one of these aggressive all-in plays. And Huhi on the Zac was maxing E, even though he was support also, by the way, so he's looking for the long range.
And Gori is level 14. Insanity just now leveled up to 13. Pretty big EXP difference between mid laners here, especially considering how good Insanity was doing early on in the game with a 3-kill lead. As, again, neither team wanting to overcommit. Neither team wanting to be the one that jumps into a situation, getting caught off guard, getting punished. And Gori feels confident in this side lane situation. Sylas feels like he just becomes another champion once you've got both of these active items online with the Everfrost and the Zhonyas. It enables so much playmaking both offensively and defensively. And with Gori being such an important piece in the Golden Guardians puzzle for how this team has turned around from being perennially 10th place to being 2nd place in spring, I think that this is the kind of guy they can trust to pop off in those moments. But Huhi's getting caught. Passive hop. Meanwhile, back in the bottom lane, Licorice is all out, and Hauntzer's in some trouble. Licorice with a flash forward for the solo kill and the shutdown. But with Huhi also taken out in the other side of the rift, it means Golden Guardians still got a problem to answer.
This is going to be interesting because Licorice won the 1v1. He can teleport in. The Baron's just getting burst, though.
Yeah, they're going to take the Baron. TSM are going straight in for this. Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses. Gori has to pop the Zonias just to stay alive. WildTurtle tries to get away, but Gori takes him down. Licorice and River and Stixxay against Insanity, Chime and Bugi. Bugi's going to be shot to pieces by the arrows as Insanity wants to fire back. Over the wall goes River, and he slams him in the face with the hammer. It's a double kill for Insanity as the Ashe is finished off, but Licorice and River want to get Chime. He'll barely escape and critically keep the Baron alive for at least one player on TSM.
What a fight. Poppy barely has enough damage to finish off Insanity, but the explosive charge still exploded and got the extra kill. Okay, Maokai ultimate, good job there. TSM keep River out. They had Maokai ult and Chime on River denial duty, so they secure the Baron, but then it gets dicey with Licorice teleporting in off of his win there, and Stixxay, that Hurricane did so much there. He was spreading a lot of damage. You see Stixxay on the bottom side though. Insanity got his ult off at the very end, so the explosive charge kills him off screen, while River just barely has enough hammer shock damage to kill him too. This one is bloody flowers. This one's been bloody all game long, and it's fun to watch. Golden Guardians up 2 dragons, but down 2,000 gold and the Baron buff. TSM coming to make it more.
Pathmaker from Licorice ready to re-engage against TSM as they try to collapse on the Ksante, and Licorice now has to be careful. He's so very low, and WildTurtle's ready to provide a little bit of extra damage. All out to escape for Licorice, but Stixxay can't do the same. Gori gets shot to pieces next, and Insanity's grabbing yet another kill. TSM may have just found the window to try to end the game nice and early. WildTurtle, Hauntzer, and Chime leading the charge. Critically remember, Chime was the one who survived. He is the one Baron buff for TSM, making sure this push hurts the Guardians.
Yeah, good 20 seconds here left on Stixxay. 30 on Gori, and TSM gonna see what else they can get. 3v5 for the time being.
Licorice just wants to hold these guys off, but the Nature's Grasp has other plans. First Nexus turret is going to explode to Tristana as River and Licorice and Huhi all try to defend to no avail. The Nexus turrets fall. TSM goes straight for the throat, and they take down Golden Guardians.
All they need is one Baron buff left. TSM. Strong early showing, strong finish too right after getting the Baron, immediately finding a pick in mid and running straight down mid.
TSM now 6-3 with Insanity in the mid lane. This backup mid laner had a couple of oopsies this game with the Tristana jumping into the middle of the fight there.